music with Lisa Magubat. Weekends, 4:30 p.m. Tambayan ni Chit-Chit, Saturdays, 7:30 p.m. Pop-in Rapping Sundays with The Computer Parts. Sundays, 9:30 p.m. after koolNews Primetime. Lahat ng yan ay nandito sa koolFM, ang inyong himpilan, ang inyong tahanan. You're listening to koolFM. koolFM is a TVH Group of Networks radio station. Tondo's greatest hits are here.
Good morning to everyone and welcome to Hello Pilipinas. Today is Sunday, October 30, 2024, and yes, in fact, if you're wondering why we are not in the studios again, it's because we are experiencing some technical difficulties when joining the game. So, long story short, before we start, well, it was working fine yesterday, and now when we join the Cool Studios, the items are all unanchored, and it's kind of saddening. So yeah, I don't know why, but I really don't know why. But yeah. So anyways, if we try joining the Cool Studios, you can see that all the anchors are messed up. Anyways, let's get into the rest of the lifestyle happenings there. Yes, I have installed Rustdesk because AnyTask is now detecting that I'm using AnyTask for commercial use. So, well, I had to switch to alternative here. So, yeah. Okay, let's get into in-car lifestyle while we are at it here. Let's just see what happens when we try joining the game here. Okay, look at that. You can see the items are completely unanchored. Oh well, so no studio today, I guess. You're gonna take a look at the cheesecake that is trendy. So, would you rather have your cheesecake being trendy or traditional? Let's have a look at this. Okay, so yeah, when we try to get back to Roblox here, well, Nothing we can do here. But anyways, let's get into the first lifestyle happenings, and that is what would you rather have a cheesecake being trendy or traditional? Let's get into that. Just when you think of that Chele and Terry Gonzalez are resting on their laurels, they come out swinging in a good way with a spicy new challenger to the cheesecake cravings of Manila consumers. Are we entering a new era of cheesecakes in the Philippine capital? Perhaps, given that Chele's beloved traditional burn Basque cheesecake has become ironic for the longest time, and also if you consider the emergence of cheesecake challengers in Manila. The newest contender comes out of the Chile kitchen yet again, with help from Terry, of course, and it's a confection that will equally become a sensation. Called Tara de Questo, the ultra creamy Spanish cheesecake is made with a blend of three types of cheese. Though Chile didn't really disclose what he used, there are full flavors in the mix, mild sharpness and saltiness, and a buttery creaminess that all come alive in a runny slice of del- decadence. So you can see, we have a cheesecake lineup that's actually there. So we have Tarta de Questo, which will cost you 2,200 pesos for a large version, and behind is the traditional burnt cheesecake. But yeah, look at that one here. Looks cool, huh? You can also say that this cheesecake slow showdown turns into a fun what cheese that Jelly use. Gasoline. Gasoline, I mean. But seriously though, that molten wheat tweak, I feel, is what's going to make this new Tartar de Questo yet another beloved addition to the eating habits of cheese and dessert affection others. Compared to its more traditional sampling, which has a softer, subtly smokier flavor, still creamy but jiggly texture akin to a rustic pudding, and a caramelized top, the gooey Tartar de Questo also comes with a thin crust that is different but also still signature chalet. So yeah, we have two differences here. You can tell. You can tell the differences. The one behind is the what we call a somewhat melted cheesecake, but this is more the trendy look here, and this is the traditional cheesecake right there. Now, if we take a look here, let's see. I wanted to make a recipe that even if you put it in the chiller and take it out for 30 minutes, you keep the same texture and flavor, said Chile, who admits that it took a bit of trial and error to attain the Carta de Questo's final iteration. Normally, cheesecakes have a lot of egg, and when you put them in the chiller, the protein of the egg will coagulate and it will become like a mousse, and the creaminess will be lost. And I had to work with a blend of cheeses that is still creamy. So it was a process. So here is the TikTok video showcasing what from the restaurant. Also, what kind of cheesecake will you go with? Let's take a look. Okay, okay, I don't know, the audio did not work here. Let's try one more time. But yeah, okay, so it looks like the audio is not working for some reason. But let's just double check the configuration real quick here. Excuse me, as we wait, as we try to resolve here. Alright, one more time. Okay, it's not working. That's weird. So, yeah. Let me just double check those settings again. Just making sure it's not muted. Oh, it is muted. Okay, let's Let's play one more time. So, yeah, what kind of cheesecake do you guys want to go with? So let's just watch it one more time. That's so yeah, you just saw that TikTok video. What will you go with? Alright. After the media preview event, I put the Carta de Caso in the refrigerator, took it out and left it in at room temperature for a bit to test it. And the slice I had delivered, it's punchy, cheese heavy, and in essence seems to preserve the Chinese flavors more. A couple days after, as I'm ready to speak, I remember Chell saying we want to make people happy, and in my mind this approach has never been lost on him as I have listened to his words and take another joyful slice. Yes, I'm happy, Chell. So yeah, the Carta de Queso is available for dine-in, pickup, or delivery at the podium. Orders can also be placed online, or you can message to Burn Rescue Cheesecake by Chale on Fiverr at +63917653887. If you visit the Podium store until October 30, that's today, and buy any slice of Carta de Casa, you will receive a complimentary slice of the traditional Burn Rescue Cheesecake. Okay, so that's the cheesecake right here we just saw. So again, what kind of cheesecake do you prefer? Is it is it this one or that one? It's up to you. It's your choice. Do you want to go with that? Let me know what kind of cheesecake do you prefer. Alright, it is now 7:14 in the morning, and I bet Tervi is going to be doing another hinge program meme again. I won't be too surprised here. But anyways, TVH Network viewers and koolFM listeners, we will get more into the lifestyle happenings and more. Again, yes, I don't care at this point if we have hinge problem because again we are having close to technical difficulties. Well, anyways, Hello Pilipinas will return after these messages. We will be right back.
umabot sa 300 kilogram.
Makichismis.
So, anong say mo? Tirik sa Mix Channel. Cheat, 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 cheat. Next da. Isipin kahit kailan.
At makigulo tuwing gabi kasama ang Hangout with Mamon. Hangout with Mamon. Lunes hanggang Miyerkules, 8 p.m. at 9:30 p.m.
Ito po ang Hangout with Mamon.
Dito lang sa nag-iisang himpilan, koolFM.
It's 7:22 in the morning, and we are still listening to Hello Pilipinas. Okay, so apparently I have received the chat that, not the chat, sorry. I have received the word that Steven had a birthday today, and I didn't get to join his VC, which I feel bad. I didn't join his voice chat earlier, so yeah, I feel bad for him. I feel bad. Yeah, I really do. I feel bad. I didn't. I missed out the fun. So yeah. So yeah. Again, I feel bad. I didn't get to, you know, catch up on the on Steven's birthday VC earlier. So yeah. Anyways, Steven, if you're watching this, happy birthday, man. I hope you are doing well. And yeah, I heard you're turning into my age now. So yeah, again, happy birthday, man. Have more wishes to come and more blessings to come, man. Happy birthday, man. All right, so yeah, now let's continue with another round of the lifestyle here. And I don't know if you have anything new here. If not, oh wait, we have about this one here, which we'll cover too. Let me just brush my teeth in a bit. I just woke up. I always wake up being getting tired here. Alright, so here it is. Can't handle the heat just yet? Here's how to acclimatize. So, look at that. This is, I think this is related to the health tips here. But yeah, before I start reading this one, I need to brush my teeth. Give me a few moments, please. Thank you. Alright, I'm back. Now, let's get my morning started for real this time. Let's get started here with another lifestyle happenings, and this time it's about the tips on how to acclimate. Alright, racing long distance is difficult for a number of reasons. What, excuse me. Aside from the sheer volume you have to put in during training, the mental toughness you have to endure, and the amount of nutrition you need to keep an eye on, there are a few overlooked variables that are just as important. One of those variables is heat acclimatization. When we train for any race, it's normal for most of our sessions to be shorter than the event itself. Sure, there will be some big days and really long workouts, but more often than not, these don't exceed the actual distance or duration. This is especially true if you're racing events like a half Ironman, full Ironman, marathon, or ultra marathon. Quite frankly, it's too strenuous, and from a fitness standpoint, not necessary to keep hitting super long workouts unless you're a professional and actually have a very high workload to begin with. Over the past few months, I have been using a core body temperature sensor in training, and I think this is a game changer in terms. Okay, from a heat adaptation perspective, our training presents a unique problem. For example, for an Ironman 70.3, you are expected to run 21 kilometers close to noon time. However, in training, most of our long runs start early or late in the morning. This not only means that our environment is cooler, our body is also fresher, our core temperature is lower, and we are less fatigued. Brick workouts help since it involves running after a hard or long bike session, but oftentimes it's not enough to simulate the heat strain we experience during the race itself. The solution might seem simple: do your long runs midday, but this also represents a few problems in itself. For one, if run too aggressively, it can lead to heat stress or other heat-related illnesses. It's also a bit impractical and very tough to do consistently. Over the past few months, I have been using a core body temperature sensor in training, and they believe that this is a game changer in terms of heat acclimatization. It's given them a ton of insights with regard to proper, methodical, and effective heat training. So here are the few things they learned. So number one, do it gradually. Just like training, heat adaptation is a long-term process. We can't expect to do well in the heat just by exposing our bodies to hot temperatures. Our body needs to be introduced to it gradually and consistently, otherwise we risk overstressing our body, which can lead to overtraining symptoms, burnout, or other more severe health problems. So here's a tip. You can start by introducing short heat training sessions 3 to 4 times a week. This can be as short as 50 minutes long, then gradually work your way up to longer durations. Heat can come in multiple forms: sunlight, ambient temperature, and humidity. Sunlight is often associated with the heat for good reason. Living in the tropical climate, when the sun is high and there are few clouds, our surroundings get hot really quickly. In simple terms, it's obviously the main reason why we feel hot. However, sunlight itself is only part of the equation. Extended exposure to such can lead to sunburn, but if ambient temperatures are low, it doesn't affect us as adversely as the latter. Ambient temperature pertains to ambient temperatures pertains to how the hot the air around us is. Obviously, if the air is hot, we are unable to cool ourselves effectively. On top of that, during exercise, our body's core temperature rises to feverish levels. Core temperatures of 38.5 to 39 degrees are common, especially if exerting harder efforts. Naturally, if our surroundings are hot, our core temperature rises more aggressively. If we are unable to control this, our performance will drop significantly. Lastly, humidity is another factor that we should keep and ion. Our body cools itself by sweating. Sweat carries out the heat generated by our muscles. If our sweat doesn't evaporate, it forms a barrier between our skin and the environment, and this prevents proper heat exchange. Sticking soak in sweat, whether on our skin or through our clothes, prevents our body from cooling itself effectively. High humidity is not conducive to evaporation. This is why we often feel like the air is thick and heavy during such scenarios. This type of heat is usually the most taxing and unbearable type of heat, especially during exercise. Another tip, protect yourself from the sun by wearing caps on sunscreen, but also make sure that your apparel is made of breathable sweat wicking fabric. This will help mitigate the onset of heat stress. Our body cools itself in two main ways. First, it dilates capillaries close to our skin. This is like opening windows in our house so that cool air can circulate. Second, it releases sweat. This one is like having the air conditioning on. Sweat carries heat outside our body. Our sweat glands release water to keep our bodies cooler. This is in principle similar to how our air conditioning units use heat exchange to remove hot air from our rooms. Sweating is by far the most effective way of cooling our salts. However, for the system to keep going, we need to ingest water regularly. From experience, sweating is by far the most effective way of cooling our salts. However, for this system to keep going, yeah, we already went on here. Each person has unique sweat rates, but in general, it's normal to record 600 to 1,300 milliliters of water per hour to stay hydrated. This depends on environmental conditions, the intensity of efforts, size and weight, and even genetics. One thing to remember is that electrolyte injection is also important. When we sweat, we release electrolytes such as sodium. If the fluids we ingest don't have any electrolytes, we might reach a point in which we don't have enough electrolytes in our bodies. This is called hyponathermia, which can have adverse health effects. With this in mind, taking in electrolytes during long, intense rains and hot conditions is very important. Just like sweating, electrolyte loss is very unique. That's why we have been offering sweat analysts in the lab for several years already. However, as a general rule of the thumb, 400 to 600 milligrams of sodium per liter of water is a good place to start. And the last tip here is to consume around 600 to 1,300 milliliter of water with 400 to 600 milligrams of sodium diluted in it. It differs from person to person though, so adjust as necessary or seek the help of a competent coach. Living in the Philippines, heat is something we have to deal with on a regular basis. It can be rippling if we don't manage it well. However, if you take all the boxes right and do it so consistently, it's not that hard to be more resilient in hot conditions. So again, those are the tips on the heat acclimatization, and that is important. So yeah, it's a good way to start if you are into the marathon. Yeah, if you're into the workout marathon or anything that you want to do, this is the way. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's see if I don't think of anything here. So let's get into the showbiz happenings now. Alright, there it is. So this time it's about the pageant related stuff. So here it is. Noor Carmina, Pakistan's delegate in this year's edition of the Miss Universe pageant, went under the funded Filipino pageant training regimen like her predecessor had done last year. Pakistan's debut in the Miss Universe pageant in 2023 was fruitful, with the first ever delegate from the South Asian country, Erica Robin, penetrating the top 20, the fruit of her training in the Philippines. Joshua Yugen, the Filipino publicist and magazine publisher who holds Pakistan's Miss Universe franchise, has once again placed his confidence on pageant mentors in the Philippines to launch a formidable follow-up into Robin's phenomenal Miss Universe debut. He represented Carmina before a group of Filipino journalists and online content creators who quizzed the Pakistani diplomat's daughter about her quest to clinch the Miss Universe crown in just the second time that her country is participating in the global tilt. Alright, now while I'm reading here, let me examine what went wrong with the Cool Studios here. But we'll get into that later while I in the commercial break. But anyways, let's continue here. My training is split into a few spheres: question and answer training, hair and makeup training, pasarela training, some mentor training with Josh so that I could cut my nerves in the pageant, she said at the gathering. I'm trying to just learn everything as fast as I can because there's limited time, but I'm always up for a challenge. And Erica set the bar very high, which I think it's great for me because now I know what I'm aiming towards. So I'm really grateful for everything she's done. Carmina added. She added her predecessor briefed her on what to expect in her visit to the Philippines. Make sure you bring your A game because the expectations in the Philippines are very high, so respect that culture. As well for pageantry and make sure you train hard, she quoted Robin as saying. She told me to be enthusiastic and authentic to who I am, be true to myself, train my hardest, but also enjoy the experience because it goes by really quickly. So that was her advice to me, Carmina added. When Inquirer.net asked how her Robin's Miss Universe debut has impacted her views on pageantry, Carmina responded, "It's completely changed my perception because she broke the norm, she performed in a bikini, and she was still so powerful even though some would argue she's at a disadvantage because of what she's wearing." Carmina continued, "I think Robin broke the glass ceiling and said, you know what, I'm a Muslim majority country and that is not going to stop me. I'm still going to perform and I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud to call her a friend. I think she changed the standard for what Muslim country women can do at these things. So I'm really grateful." The Pakistan beauty is among the more than 100 delegates who will compete in the 73rd Miss Universe pageant. Reigning Queen Shinis Palacios will relinquish her crown to her eventual successor, who will be chosen at the end of the coloration show at the Arena CDMX in Mexico City, Mexico on November 16. That is November 17 in Manila. Okay, that's the entertainment happenings right here on Hello Pilipinas. We will continue with that later. But it is now 7:40 in the morning and we will get into koolNews early edition on Hello Pilipinas. That's coming up next right here on the show. So stick around, people. We will return after these messages.
Sahod, hindi limos. Sweldo, hindi ayuda. Imbes nag-aabot ng barya, bigyan ng dignidad ang ating magsasaka. Samahan niyo ako at ating busugin ang mga nagpapakain sa atin.
Senador Amy Marcos para sa magsasakang Pilipino.
Nay, alira good nay, nagpalit kong kape ba? Lami kay ni Tilawi, ragud ni Nay.
Unsa man nga kape, Magnum si?
Ay Nay, dili ni Magnum si Nay, pero mas lami ni siya ato Nay.
Bahala nagmamatay ko basta kay Magnum si lang jud ako. Kahit karon ayaw kong dalian ang imong kape. Bisan pag mamatay ko, Magnum si ra jud akong imnon. Kasabot ka?
Di na yun mapugngan ang pagsalig sa katawhan sa Magnum C. The most trusted by seniors. Laging healthy sa Magnum C.
Pag may PC para aron mo update ka. Pag may PC mo, tungod ang may PC puno sa vitamina. Pag may PC mo, barato na o pipi-ibo pa. Tungod ang may PC, alkaline vitamin C, mulawas update birni, dili nakakapuyon. Tungod sa may PC.
May C ang alkaline ng vitamin C.
Kulang na yung pension ni Lolo. Naitagdag pa kaya yan?
Tropa, paano ba magkaroon ng pensyon?
Yung interest sa SSS at GSIS, pwede kayang mas mababa.
10 years na akong teacher. May makukuha na kaya akong pensyon?
Para bawat tanong, may sagot. Para isulong ang kapakanan at karapatan ng mga miyembro at pensyonado ng SSS at GSIS.
Para sa mas malakas at matibay na pension system.
SSS, GSIS, Pensyonado Party List. Bawat Pilipino, dapat pensyonado.
Big and small, meron yan. Big and small, meron yan. For big and small, pamilihan needs, Mr. DIY. Sulit yan. Meron yan. Ito ang sulit na pamilihan sa buong bayan. For big and small, pamilihan needs, Mr. DIY.
Sing along with me and Curtis!
Nanghihinayang sa araw ko.
Uy, friend, di mo ka move on dahil sa sipon?
Magbagong Neozep Z Plus, now with zinc. Mas bilis galing sa sintomas ng sipon by 2 to 3 days versus Neozep Forte.
Walang hinayang, bawi na ang araw ko.
Neozep Z Plus, now with zinc.
Alagang Unilab yan.
Phenylephrine HCl chlorphenamine maleate paracetamol plus zinc is the generic name of Neozep Z Plus. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Bitin. 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 Bitin plus 1 free! Sa Magic Flix Plain 10 plus 1 free sulit pack, wala nang bitin-bitin dahil mas pinasulit versus previous pack of 10s na ang Magic Flix Plain. Sa 10 plus 1 free sulit pack, mas mura pa versus other plain crackers in supermarkets. Kaya bili na! Sarap pag may magic!
Pag in the mood for beach, time for Dunkin' Iced Spanish Latte.
Pag sweater weather, time for Dunkin' Brewed Coffee.
Pag nagkayaya ang magbike, time for Dunkin' Iced Americano.
Anytime is Dunkin' Coffee time. My hot and iced coffee for any moment, any vibe, anytime. Eh, ikaw? Time for Dunkin' Coffee, hot or iced.
Nane, alam mo ba pag may diabetes, humihina ang immune system. Kaya sabi ng mga pro, araw-araw mag-Immune Pro.
The only one with Zinc Plus technology. Kaya buo ang vitamin C at zinc at most prescribed by doctors. Tulungang palakasin ang immune system with proper diet and exercise. Magtiwala sa Pro. Immune Pro.
Unilab yan.
Sodium ascorbate plus zinc is the generic name of Immune Pro. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Hindi birong maging isang ina. Dapat hands-on ka sa maraming bagay. Lalo na sa mga iniinom na gamot. Dapat ready ka. Kaya kapag may sakit sa pamilya ko, gaya ng sakit ng ulo, sakit sa katawan na may kasamang lagnat dulot ng sipon, allergic rhinitis o sinusitis, Simdex D ang ipinapainom ko. Gamot laban sa sintomas ng trangkaso. Simdex D is available in Mercury Drug Stores and other drug stores near you. Phenylpropanolamine hydrochloride chlorphenamine maleate paracetamol is the generic name of Simdex D. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Also available Simdex D Syrup for kids and Simdex D Forte for adults.
Ohio! Don't you love it when good mornings start like this? Then like this. And then, wait for it.
A morning cup of soup?
Yes, soup. Try new Ajinomoto Soup and Go and make it your new morning habit.
Comes in creamy corn, creamy potato, or creamy pumpkin.
Great with bread too.
Ohio, Soup and Go.
Ajinomoto.
Coco Martin po, certified Argentina corned beef lover. Kasi naman, ang hibla, malaman. Made with 100% real beef fat. At masarap talaga.
Hinahanap-hanap kita. Sarap ng Argentina.
Sa presyong abot kaya. Promise.
Busog ang araw-araw ko.
As part of 3 complete meals.
San Miguel Oktoberfest, bawat henerasyon kasama dito tayo magkikita-kita. Oktoberfest na. San Miguel Oktoberfest, walang katulad pagsama-sama dito tayo magkikita-kita. Oktoberfest na.
This event is for individuals aged 18 and above. Drink responsibly.
The insane rock of Manila has never been this good. This is Rock Weekdays with G&AG. Mondays to Fridays, 4:30 p.m. on koolFM.
Sing it along to the music. koolFM.
Live from Kool Studios, this is koolNews Early Edition.
It's 7:49 in the morning, and this is koolNews Early Edition on Hello Pilipinas. My name is Cairo, and let's get into the recap of yesterday's headlines, and along with the latest headlines right here on koolNews Early Edition. The Second Congressional Commission on Education, EDCOM-2, on Saturday called for the expansion of the quota for science high school scholars as the government supports merely 1% of the country's more than 27 million students. Citing latest data from the Department of Education DepEd, EDCOM lamented that only a total of 279,796 scholars in elementary and high school were admitted to science high schools under the Department of Science and Technology and DepEd for school year 2023 to 2024. DepEd should take a look at these science programs and expand that with other government agencies. I hope we can increase this support to 5% of students in the country. Pasig Representative Romulo, who also serves as EDCOM co-chair, said at a roundtable discussion with concerned stakeholders on Friday. The country's best and the brightest are supported through the Philippine Science High School system under the DOST, while the regional and provincial science high schools and the special science programs offered in public elementary and secondary schools are under the DepEd. Most of the DOST and DepEd scholars were in special science programs at the grade school level and in the special program on science, technology, and engineering at the secondary level, the same DepEd data showed. The rest were in regional science high schools, illustrated science high schools, and PSHS. So for the number, we have for the number of each respective levels. For the grade school level, we have 106,670 students. Secondary level is 143,118. And for the rest, with regional science high schools, 9,428. Illustrated science high schools with 10,230. And PHSS with 10,350. The congressional body noted that the figures pale in comparison with other countries where the coverage hit around 3%, like in China and South Korea, and all the way to 10% of the learners in Australia and Europe. According to Ronald Lee Artesa, Executive Director of PASHS, the school had to reject qualified students in the regions due to limited slots. Artesa, who was quoted by EDCOM as saying that some students in Calabarzon, for example, had to be turned down due to a cut-off of 120 in the region. A call for admissions for grade 7 students for school year 2024 to 2025 posted on PSHS website shows that only 1,920 out of the top 50,000 exam qualifiers were eligible to enroll in their chosen Eastside campus. This means only nearly 30% of qualified applicants can be accommodated and taken in as scholars. The Philippines and Japan have laid out plans that in enforcing the historic reciprocal access agreement that the two countries signed last July after years of discussions. The RAA is a visiting forces of agreement that allows greater military cooperation amid increasing security tensions in the Southeast Asian region. According to the Japanese embassy in Manila, President Marcos and newly elected Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba held informal talks on Thursday on the sidelines of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations ASEAN Summit in Laos. The embassy said Marcos congratulated Ishiba for his recent integration. President Marcos also expressed that he was delighted to see the strengthening of bilateral relations between Japan and the Philippines, as well as the progress in Japan-United States-Philippines cooperation, and that he would like to further enhance cooperation with Prime Minister Ishiba, the embassy said in a statement. Ishiba responded by reciprocating Marcos' enthusiasm for the two states' growing alliance and proposed to further deepen cooperation with Manila in the midst of an increasingly challenging regional security environment. Marcos and Ishiba also confirmed they will move with the procedures for the early entry into force of the RAA. Talks about the RAA, Japan's term for VFA, date back to the 1990s after the Philippines signed a VA with the United States. However, discussions about an RAA was moved until after Manila concluded a series of its force pact with Australia in 2007. The RAA talks resumed only in earnest in 2023 until the Philippines-Japan reciprocal access agreement was signed in July 8, 2024. It was the first RAA Japan signed with the Southeast Asian nation and the third such agreement signed by the Philippines after its pact with the United States and Australia. Under the RAA, Philippine and Japanese forces are allowed to be deployed on each other's soil for joint military exercises and operations. The argument also streamlines the entry of military equipment for supplies for both countries. Yes, I'm in fact ordering the food right now because I'm hungry right now. So bear with me on this one here. Alright, so now I have ordered the food. Now let's continue here. So we will check the play out. Davao City became the top local government outside of Metro Manila with the highest locally sourced tax take, amassing 6.67 billion pesos in revenues. According to data obtained by the Inquirer, Davao City had the highest tax collections with 6.67 billion pesos last year, up by 10.9% from 6.02 billion pesos recorded in 2022. Coming in second was Cebu City with 4.70 billion pesos, which saw an increase of 15.3% in 2023 for 4.07 billion pesos in the previous year. Completing the 10 cities with the most taxes generated are Santa Rosa City with 3.95 billion pesos collections last year, up by 90.5% from 3.31 billion pesos. This was followed by Calamba City at 3.57 billion pesos, Cagayan de Oro City with 3.13 billion pesos, Bandaca City with 2.73 billion pesos, and Antipolo City with 2.56 billion pesos, Rizal Province with 2.50 billion pesos, Iloilo City with 2.47 billion pesos, and Mantes City with 2.42 billion pesos. Bureau of Local Government Finance Executive Director Consolation Gallo Lee attributed the higher local government tax take to updated revenue ordinance and schedules of market values, adoption of fees and charges toolkit, effective tax campaign, efficient collection, and adoption of innovative strategies. Likewise, more provinces and cities have updated the schedule of market values, increasing real property tax collections, Dr. Lee told the Inquirer. 13 provinces and cities joined the ranks of local governments with more than 1 billion pesos in tax collections. Caminosur led the list this year, collecting about 1.34 billion pesos, followed by Negros Occidental with 1.36 billion pesos, Limay Bataan with 1.17 billion pesos, and Mariveles Bataan with 1.16 billion pesos. Zambales Province and Calaca City also recorded 1.16 billion pesos and 1.14 billion pesos respectively. The increase in local tax collection should reflect a proportional increase in all local governments' asset values, but the Commission on Audit, which released the data in October last year, has not yet released its list for 2023. In 2022, the COA tagged Quezon City as the wealthiest city in the country despite a decrease in asset value from 451.007 billion pesos in 2021 to 443.406 billion pesos in 2022. It was followed by Makati City with total assets of 239.476 billion pesos, Manila with 77.506 billion pesos, Pasig City with 52.152 billion pesos, Taguig City with 40.840 billion pesos, Madue with 34.231 billion pesos, Cebu City with 30.545 billion pesos, Mandaluyong with 32.550 billion pesos, Davao City with 29.701 billion pesos, and Paranaque with 27.276 billion pesos. According to the 2022 COA report, which included 81 provinces, 147 cities, and 1,487 municipalities, the country's wealthiest province in asset value are Cebu with 225.738 billion pesos in assets, Rizal with 35.594 billion pesos, Batangas with 31.999 billion pesos, Davao de Oro with 23.107 billion pesos, Ilocos with 21.562 billion pesos, Bukidnon with 21.058 billion pesos, Iloilo with 19.977 billion pesos, Negros Occidental with 19.419 billion pesos, Cavite with 19.342 billion pesos, and Pampanga with 19.127 billion pesos. This is a powerful statement to the improving governance, expanding financial capacity, and growing fiscal independence of our local governments nationwide. This also means that the development of our economy is becoming more inclusive, and more Filipinos from different corners of the country are benefiting from the continued progress, Finance Secretary Ralph Recto said in a statement. In a separate statement last week, the Department of Finance said that the local government reform project would ensure the smooth implementation of the Real Property Valuation and Assessment Reform Act. With the RPVARA, the government aims to attract more investments and boost local revenues. Additionally, a data sharing agreement was signed between relevant government offices and local governments to facilitate the creation of the Real Property Information System and other digitalization systems associated with the OGRP as it aims to build a comprehensive database system, enhancing the ease of doing business and strengthening data sharing with the Bureau of Internal Revenue to improve tax administration. All companies are expected to increase fuel prices by at least 2 pesos per liter due to worsening conflict in the Middle East. Estimates from Rodela Romero, director of the Department of Energy All Industry Management Bureau, show that the per liter prices of gasoline prices may go up by 2 pesos to 2.30 pesos and diesel by 2.35 pesos to 2.65 pesos. Kerosene prices are expected to have the biggest upward adjustment, ranging from 2.45 pesos to 2.55 pesos a liter. Jetty Petroleum also projected higher price movements for next week. It said the prices of diesel and gasoline may climb to by 2.50 pesos to 2.70 pesos and 2.30 pesos to 2.50 pesos respectively. All companies usually announce their official prices every Monday, with the adjustments implemented the following day. Last week, fuel retailers also increased the prices of diesel and kerosene by 1.20 pesos and 70 centavos per liter respectively. Well, it's back to Filipino and English as a new law returns the use of Filipino and English as the primary medium of instruction for young learners in their first 4 years in school about a decade after the use of regional or native languages proved difficult and unsuccessful. The bill that discontinued the use of mother tongue as the minimum of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3 lapsed into law as Republic Act No. 12027 on October 10. It states that regional languages shall serve as luxury media of instruction. It amended the Republic Act No. 10533 or the 2013 Enhanced Basic Education Act, which required that instruction, teaching materials, and assessment for kindergarten and grades 1 to 3 pupils should be in the regional or native language of the learners. The new measure on consolidation of House Bill No. 6717 and Senate Bill No. 2457 was transmitted to President Marcos on September 9. Mr. Marcos did not sign the consolidated bill and it lapsed into law after 30 days. The amendment to the Enhanced Basic Education Act will be implemented within the current school year, which ends in April 2025. RA 12027 provides that the mother tongue may still be used as a minimum of instruction in a monolingual class or a group of learners who speak the same regional or native language and are enrolled in the same grade level. The use of the mother tongue as a minimum of instruction in monolingual classes should be accompanied by an official orthography or writing system developed and published by the Commission sa Wikang Pilipino and officially documented vocabulary published by the KWF, Literature on Languages and Culture, and a grammar book. There should be an adequate number of teachers in a school who speak and are trained to teach in the mother language, the law said. RA 12027 orders the Department of Education and the KWF to develop a language mapping policy within 1 year and implement a language mapping framework to properly identify and classify learners based on the mother tongue to systematically determine the existence of monolingual classes each school year. According to the KWF, the country has 135 spoken languages plus the Filipino Sign Language. Efforts to suspend the use of the regional or native language as a minimum of instructions stem from challenges in implementing the mother tongue-based multilingual education program of DepEd. The MTP-MLE program began during the 2012 to 2013 school year with RA 10533, which mandated the use of regional or native languages in teaching learners from kindergarten to grade 3. Among the difficulties encountered was the scarcity of materials and textbooks in the mother tongue, especially in linguistically diverse learner populations. This end up in the disconnect between the language that learners are familiar with and the language used in the materials and textbooks. RA 12027 directs DepEd to conduct a review of the optional implementation of the MTV MLE program in monolingual classes every 3 years. The review will focus on literal assessment, teacher recruitment and matching, development of literal resources published in the mother tongue, capacity learning for teachers, and funding requirements. Following the review, DepEd will submit a report to the President and Congress that will include recommendations on how to address the gaps and challenges and whether to continue or discontinue the optional use of the mother tongue as a minimum of instruction in monolingual classes. And another hike this time is the NLEX rates. The operator of North Luzon Expressway or NLEX is set to increase on starting October 15th the toll rates for the NLEX connector linking the 5th Avenue portion of Circumferential Road 3 or C3 in Caloocan City to Espena Boulevard and Roman Magsaysay Avenue in Santa Mesa, Manila. Under the new metrics, Class 1 vehicles, regular cars, and SUVs will have a 33 pesos hike to 119 pesos. Class 2 for for buses and small trucks, an increase of 84 pesos to 299, and Class 3 large trucks, a 116 pesos hike to 418 pesos. The current rates until their increase takes effect on Tuesday are 86 pesos for Class 1, 215 pesos for Class 2, and 302 pesos for Class 3 vehicles. The new rates were approved by the Toll Regulatory Board after the NLEX connector's entire 8-kilometer stretch was opened on October 2023, following the completion of the Espena Magsaysay section. Another portion of the connector road also linking Espena had been completed earlier in March that year. Providing an alternative route for all vehicle classes, this all-elevated expressway bolsters job and business opportunities in the areas it traverses by improving accessibility to and from the north, the Pangasinan-led company said in a statement over the weekend. This year, NLEX Corp earmarked 12 billion pesos for capital expenditures. Meanwhile, our Labor Federation on Saturday denounced the RTB's persistent plan, despite protests from several sectors to impose in January 2025 penalties on motorists lacking functioning radio frequency identification tags or with insufficient load on those tags. The Federation of Free Workers described TRB's no RFID, no entry policy as legalized thief and highway robbery done without shame. We strongly oppose the TRB's announcement that penalties for non-compliance will begin in January 2025. This vote will unjustly burden motorists who are already grappling with rising living costs, FFW said in a statement issued by its President Suleiman Tula and Vice President June Ramirez. Toll roads are essential for work and daily commutes, and this penalty adds unnecessary financial strain, they said. Instead of focusing on improving infrastructure and customer service, the TRB is creating new venues for collecting fines and fees, punishing ordinary motorists for system deficiencies, the group also said. The RFID system was introduced to streamline toll payments and reduce congestion, but it was plagued by such problems such faulty tag readers and inefficient reloading process. Matula, a lawyer, had also cited a provision in the civil code saying that legal tender should be accepted for all transactions in the country. Even if a motorist has cash and is ready to pay, he will still be penalized for not having an electronic ID. This effectively devalues our legal tender, recognized by law, making transactions using currency issued by the central bank subject to penalties. It's both absurd and unacceptable, FFW said. The group said the RB should abandon the planned penalties and instead focus on fixing the tollway system's reliability and accessibility before punishing motorists. FFW also said it has exhausted administrative remedies by communicating its concerns to TRB. It's the Department of Transportation at the Office of the President. Unfortunately, the response from the Marcos administration has been nothing but DETMA, a complete disregard. If these penalties are enforced in 2025, we will challenge judges in the Supreme Court to protect motorists from unjust penalties, Madula said. But the OTR has twice postponed the RFID policy, which was supposed to be implemented on August 1. With just over 2 months before the penalties take effect, FFW urged motorists to ensure their RFID tags are functional and located. And that's the first gap of koolNews early edition on Hello Pilipinas. We will return with the international headlines and the weather forecast later at around 8:40 on Hello Pilipinas. It is now 8:12 in the morning, and we will be returning to Hello Pilipinas after these messages. We will be right back.
Halamaw, napapakinggan at napapanood pa sa radyo. Sa pagsapit ng alas 6:30 ng gabi, kami ang iyong makakasama.
Ito ang Bay Tulaga!
With Master Geo, Fridays and Saturdays on koolFM.
Just in time, Bella just came back upstairs, and yes, it's 8:22. And if you just joined us to start your weekend morning with us, probably good morning and welcome to Hello Pilipinas. Today is Sunday, October 30, 2024. Now let's get into the what you might have missed so far. Let me just get my scissors real quick. Okay, good. So yeah, I have ordered. I'm sorry about that. Right here. Okay. Okay, so one moment here. Great. Oh, sorry. Okay. Alright, so if there are no new what's happening, we can move on to the rest of the entertainment, and this time we're gonna be covering anime right here. Just got the seat here. Alright. Okay, foot ready. Oh yeah, we do have a hash brown. Yes, we do have a hash brown. I don't think the spoons are included, no? Yep. No spoons, so I'm gonna have to provide my own. Alright. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, let's take a look at how is the U.S. box office. Let's take a look at how the U.S. box office earnings are doing this week. So, here it is. Audiences are apparently ready for a different kind of clown. As Starfire 3 is carrying off the second week of Joker. Floxia Deluxe. Yes, we have We have covered that last week, and I'm pretty sure that movie is not doing well because, yeah, the audience did not like the movie, so it turned out to be a flop for Joker Fully Deluxe. But yeah, again, the movie is becoming a flop, and it's no surprise that it's a free fall right now. So let's begin here. Fall Friends Terrifier 3 took in $8.2 million on Friday, including a meaty $2.4 million in Thursday previews. Heading for a weekend that could be upwards of $70 million. Terrifier 3 is playing in 2,514 locations through distributor Cineverse, headed by Chris McGurk. Sorry. The Guard Preschool is stoking controversy for its violence and in stroke of good old-fashioned horror movie showmanship. The film has launched a hotline for people who want to complain about the carnage. Meanwhile, family animated tale The Wild Robot in week 3 and the 6th weekend of Warner Brothers Beetlejuice won $1.95 million on Friday are both seeing more action than Joker Fully Deluxe, which plunged more than 80% to $2.2 million on Friday. The Warner Brothers sequel starring Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga is estimated to make somewhat under $7 million for the weekend, for a 4.46% million count. DreamWorks Animation and Universal's The Wild Robot brought in $3.8 million on Friday, heading for a possible $13.8 million weekend. Following close behind Joker were the first weekend for Rail's Lego Biography Piece by Piece, starting out with $1.5 million on Friday and Saturday night, with $1.3 million on Friday. Focus Features noted that Piece by Piece received an A cinema score and is heading for an estimated $3.5 million opening weekend. In its fourth week, Paramount's Transformers 1 brought in $1 million on Friday for an estimated $4.60 million weekend. Ticket sales for the Joker sequel's second weekend were projected to be at least in the double digits, so the massive decline was larger, even the assessor mix estimates. Joker Fully Deluxe opened last weekend with a lackluster $37.6 million after poor reviews and enthusiastic word of mouth. Well, actually, I have to say about the Joker is that, again, I heard the movie is not great, and the story and it does not respect the fan base, so no surprises here that the movie is in very huge decline. And finally, in an expanded 2029 locations, Saturday Night is supposed to bring in more than $3.7 million for the weekend and $4.45 or more total gross domestic gross. Alright, so yeah, again, guys, I'm still eating. Apologies for if I'm suddenly stopped reading. I'm really hungry, so that's why I'm eating. I had to eat right here. Okay. Now, one moment here. Alright, moving on to the next one. Alien Romulus will soon be bursting into your living room, just like the creature that emerges one from the chest cavity of Navarro or any room. And just about anyone else unlucky enough to encounter Xenomorph in the Alien franchise. The 7th installment in the 45-year Alien Films series hits Prime Video, Apple TV, and Fandango at home on October 15 ahead of its 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD release on December 3. Alright, so yeah, let's start right here. Alright, and we'll get into the last whole what news for Hello Pilipinas this morning, and then we will move on to the Japanese anime news. Finally, I just finished eating since I was really hungry, and that's why you didn't get to hear my usual voice. So yeah, now that's done, I can continue now. Here it is. So, Unstable, the company starring Rob Lowe and his son John Owen Law, has been cancelled after 2 seasons on Netflix. The Workplace comedy premiered on Netflix on March 20, 2023, and its 2nd season came on August 1, 2024. It followed Rob Lowe as Louis Dragon, the CEO and founder of a biotechnology company who struggled after the death of his wife. His interest son, Jackson, who played Lois' Roland's son, joins the company despite pursuing a career playing the field. He also helps his father with his mental health and reconnects with her. The show leaned into the meta-ness of the Lois playing a Sarnak's father and high-strung son. So yeah, I can't say about this one, but again, that show has been cancelled by Netflix after 2 seasons. All right, that's the Hollywood news. Right here, we will move on to Japanese entertainment news. Sorry, Japanese anime news now. Alright, let's begin with the first anime news. Lockdown Zone Level X live anime is getting a second season. So, Animation ID announced on Saturday that the light anime, is receiving a second season. So here is the trailer. If we can play it here. Don't think it's a copyright music included. We'll just show you the 50-second trailer. Here it is.
レベル3私は絶対にこのループから抜け出してみせる
That's the season announcement here. And yeah, and for the rest, the paragraph you just saw, that's the recap. That's the about the show here, so I'm not going to be reading that one here. Next one, we have Card Fight Vanguard Divine Sea Deluxe Hang. The official Xperia account for the Card Fight Vanguard franchise revealed a new Card Fight Vanguard Divine Sea Deluxe Hang anime on Saturday. The new series will debut in January 2025. I don't think I can show you the trailer since I might be copyrighted, so I'm just gonna skip this one here. Next one we have is koolNews generic romance manga, which both will be receiving its anime and the live action film adaptations. Shueisha announced on Friday that Jun Mayusuki's koolNews generic romance manga is inspired of both a television anime and live action film, which will both debut in 2025. The combined official website for both projects is receiving a teaser trailer that reveals the cast and footage for both projects. So let's take a look at the trailer here. Let's watch this one here. It's just 30 seconds, so here it is.
私クーロンに恋をしている
この夏のクーロンはどうかしてるぜクーロンジェネリックロマンス
So that's the combined trailer of both the television anime and the live action film adaptation. So who's starring here? Well, Haruka Shirashi will be playing as koolNews-based real estate agent as Reiko Rei, while Tomokatsu Sukita plays her colleague Jamie Kuto. So yeah, those are the cast members. And for the live action film adaptation, Riho Yoshioka will be playing as Riko Kujirai, while Koshi Mitsukami will be playing as Jamima Kudo. Both of them for the live action. That's for the live action film adaptation. And finally, My Hero Academia will be having a final season that is set to air in 2025. The final 21st episode of the 7th season of the My Hero Academia anime aired on Saturday and announced that the anime's next season will be the final season. The final season is slated to debut in 2025. In the below video, Daku states, "This is the story of how we became the greatest hero," before announcing the final season. Well, I'm not gonna be playing it. I won't bother playing. But yes, here is the visual of the final season of My Hero Academia. So yeah, exciting times ahead, and looks like this means My Hero Academia will be reaching its climax very soon. That's the anime headlines on Hello Pilipinas, which categorizes as entertainment news, which we covered from the local showbiz in the first half. Second, second for the Hollywood and Japanese anime right here. It is now 8:42 in the morning. We will be getting back into Hello koolNews early edition on Hello Pilipinas, and along with the international headlines and weather forecast right after this break.
Live from Cool Studios, this is koolNews Early Edition.
It's 8:48 in the morning, and you are still with us right here on Hello Pilipinas, and this is koolNews Early Edition on Hello Pilipinas. Let's get into the international headlines as millions of dollars have poured into bets on who will win the U.S. election after a last-minute court ruling opened up gambling on the vote, upping the stakes on a too close to call race that has already put voters on edge. Contracts for Kamala Harris victory were trading between 48% and 50% in favor of the Democrat on Friday on Interactive Brokers, a firm that has taken advantage of a legal opening created earlier this month in the country's long-running regulatory battle over election markets. With just a month until the November 5 vote, markets opened after a court in Washington ruled that Kalshi, a startup that has been trying to introduce political betting in the United States for years, could take wagers even as legal appeals by regulators against the company continue. With this, more than $6.3 million have been put on the line for the Kamala Harris $2 job matchup alone, with users also betting on control of the House and Senate. It's the latest turn in a years-long saga between the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and firms wishing to offer election betting, a legal practice in a number of other countries, and one that some Americans participate in outside of regulators' oversight via offshore markets. On one such offshore-sized polling market, with more than $1.7 billion has been placed on the Harris-Trump matchup, with Trump holding a 54-45 advantage over Harris on Friday night. Those in favor of gambling or even contracts in finance terms say it is a legitimate way to hedge backs against adverse outcomes like into futures contracts. Some also argue that the markets are better than polls. These contracts are reported. Steve Sanders, Executive Vice President of Marketing and Product Development at Interactive Brokers, told HS Press Friends. They're good for people to take a view on what they think is happening and hedge their portfolios. In just days, more than 1 million contracts have been traded on Interactive Brokers. And for the what's happening and for the updates regarding the situation in Lebanon, Lebanon's health ministry said Israeli strikes on 3 villages outside traditional Hezbollah strongholds had killed at least 50 people Saturday, as state media reported further strikes elsewhere. An Israeli enemy struck Masra, a Shiite Muslim majority village in a mostly Christian mountain area north of Beirut, left 9 dead and 15 wounded, the ministry said in the statement, updating an earlier talk. An AFP correspondent in Masra saw excavators trying to remove chunks of a destroyed building. Emergency workers using a manual sledgehammer tried to break through a slab of concrete. Separately, the ministry said 4 people have been killed and 18 others wounded in an Israeli enemy strike on Barja in the Shop district south of the capital. And the ministry reported 2 dead, 4 wounded, and body parts in the Israeli strike of Deir Bila, some 50 kilometers 9 miles from the town of Beirut on Lebanon's north coast. DNA tests were being carried out to determine the identity of the remains, the statement added. The official national news agency had said an Israeli strike targeted a house in Deir Bila where families from southern Lebanon had taken refuge. Another AFP correspondent in Deir Bila saw a mattress, pillows, bed covers, a washing basket, and clothes along the wreckage as people shifted through the rubble by hand and smoke rose from a smokeless pile. In East Lebanon, the management of the Tal Jihab Hospital said in a statement that the facility has sustained light material damage due to strikes that targeted the vicinity of the mainly Christian town of Zabul. No patients or staff had been injured and the hospital was still operating, it added. Since September 23, Israel has been heavily bombarding South and East Lebanon as well as Beirut's southern suburbs, saying it is targeting Hezbollah sites. The mountain area near Masra as well as Barja, Deir Bila, and Hasal are not areas usually considered Hezbollah strongholds. And that's the international headlines for koolNews. We will now get into the weather forecast provided by Pagasa.
Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Ngayon ay October 13, 2024 at narito ang update ukol sa maging lagay ng panahon sa susunod na 24 oras. Patuloy pa rin umiiral ang shear line or yung pagsasama ng mainit at malamig na hangin dito sa bahagi ng extreme northern Luzon kung saan ngayong araw magdadala pa rin ito ng mga pagulan dito sa bahagi ng Batanes at Babuyan Island. Samantala, ang easterlies naman ay magdadala rin ng mga kalat-kalat na pagulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog dito sa silangang bahagi ng northern at central Luzon. So pag-iingat po para sa ating mga kababayan sa posibilidad ng mga pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa. Samantala, sa nalalabing bahagi naman po ng ating bansa ay meron lamang tayong mararanasan ng mga isolated na mga pagulan, dulot yan ng mga localized thunderstorms. At sa kasalukuyan ay wala tayong minomonitor or namamataan pa na sama ng panahon na maaaring makaapekto dito sa ating bansa. At para nga sa magiging lagay ng panahon ngayong araw ng linggo, maulap na kalangitan at mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog pa rin yung mararanasan dito sa bahagi ng Batanes at Babuyan Islands, dulot po yan ng shear line. Samantala, magiging mataas din po yung tsansa ng mga pag-ulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog dito naman sa bahagi ng Cagayan, Isabela, Aurora at Quezon, dulot naman po yan ng easterly. So muli po, pag-iingat pa rin para sa ating mga kababayan sa posibilidad ng mga pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa. Samantala, dito naman sa Metro Manila maging sa nalalabing bahagi ng Luzon ay meron tayong mararanasan lamang ng mga isolated na mga pag-ulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog. Ito po yung mga biglaan at mga panandaliang pag-ulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog, lalong-lalo na po yan sa hapon at gabi, dulot ng mga localized thunderstorms. Yung mga regional offices po natin ay nagpapalabas ng mga thunderstorm advisories or mga babala ukol sa mga pag-ulan nito. Agwat ang temperatura sa Metro Manila ay mula 24 to 32 degrees Celsius. Samantala sa bahagi naman ng Visayas at Mindanao, ngayong araw po, yung buong bahagi ng Visayas at Mindanao ay makakaranas din ng bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap na kalangitan. Meron tayong posibilidad lamang ng mga isolated na mga pag-ulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog, dulot pa rin po yan ng mga localized thunderstorms. But during severe thunderstorms po, itong mga pagulan nito ay posible pa rin maging katamtaman hanggang sa mga malalakas na pagulan na maaaring magdulot ng pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa. So pag-iingat pa rin po para sa ating mga kababayan. Agwat ang temperatura sa Cebu ay mula 25 to 32 degrees Celsius at sa Davao naman ay 26 to 33 degrees Celsius. At para naman sa lagay ng dagat baybayin ng ating bansa, wala po tayong nakataas na gale warning, kaya malayong makakapalaot yung mga kababayan nating mga ngisda, pati na rin yung may mga maliliit na sasakyang pandagat. Dito sa Metro Manila, ang araw ay sisikat mamayang 5:47 ng umaga at lulubog mamayang 5:37 ng hapon. Patuloy po tayo magantabay sa updates na ipapalabas ng Pag-asa at para sa mas kumpletong impormasyon, bisitahin ang aming website pagasa.dost.gov.ph. At yan po muna ang latest dito sa Weather Forecasting Center ng Pag-asa. Grace Castañeda, magandang umaga po.
Thank you very much, Grace Castañeda, for the weather today. And that is it for the Cool News Early Edition on Hello Pilipinas. If you have any news suggestions or feedback you like to share, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will return with another news headlines later with Cool News at noon. Until then, my name is Cairo. We will get back into Hello Pilipinas right now. Alright, we are now back at Hello Pilipinas. Let's have another round of anime news, perhaps, since we have 3 minutes apparently. Whoops. Okay. Well, not to we're gonna fill our time and then we will do the quote of the day here. Alright, so let me just double check here. Alright, so Skate the Infinity OVA reveals March 19 release with your premiere on January 29. No, not 29. 24, okay. So yeah, the official X Twitter account for the Skate the Infinity anime project reveal on Saturday, a new visual, commercial, and March 19 release date for the new original video anime, Skate the Infinity Extra Part. The OVA will also get an early theatrical screening on June 24 for a limited time across 10 theaters in Japan. So this is a visual right here. The 4 episodes within the OVA are titled Kami no Neko Konbini Achi, Machi de Machi ni Nareru Koto, Morning Routine, and Ganre Hiromi-chan. So that's the Skate the Infinity OVA right there. And now, finally, we will do the quote of the day to close today's broadcast of Hello Pilipinas. Alright, so today's quote of the day. The final still has to go through the hottest fire. That's from Richard M. Nelson. And that is it for the Hello Pilipinas this morning. Thank you very much for joining us to start your Sunday mornings with us. We will be back again next week, and hopefully our cool studios will be fixed by then, because again, what happened yesterday was disappointing. We couldn't get our studios to work, especially that our studios has been destroyed by the lag, and we are trying to get it resolved as soon as possible before tomorrow's broadcasts of Asphere's Cafe and other koolFM primetime shows. Okay, with that, coming up next on koolFM is Dina and Justin in a moment, and on the TVH Network is Konosuba. Alright, until then, I'm Cairo. Good morning and hello Pilipinas. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.